Hello, everyone, and welcome to the St. Louis For School Virtual College Fair. I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening. Just a few housekeeping items before we do get started. At the bottom of your screen is a Q&A button, which you can use to ask questions to our presenters at any time. If you do have a question for a specific college, be sure to mention that college within your question. Your camera and microphone are turned off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many sessions happening this evening. There is an additional hour right after this one as well, so definitely go check it out. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same site where you registered. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first institution, which is Loyola University, Chicago.
Thank you, Clarissa. My name is Eve Hoff, and I'm the admission counselor at Loyola University, Chicago, located, as you can probably guess, in Chicago, Illinois. I work primarily with students from Missouri and Kansas. So, I will be your assigned admissions counselor moving forward through your college search if you are interested in Loyola in the future. Just a quick overview in terms of demographic data for the institution. We are a mid-sized school. We've got 12,000 undergraduate students coming from all walks of life and a variety of different cultural ideologies and faith backgrounds. And in terms of geographic and cultural diversity, you can see those stats here. We have students from all 50 states, 82 different countries across the globe in our freshman class alone, and approximately 50% of our students come from a culturally diverse, meaning not white background. We are one of 27 Jesuit Catholic institutions in the United States at the college or university level. I'll talk about what that means on the next slide, but just so you know, you do not have to be Catholic to go to Loyola University Chicago. That is just the faith denomination that our university has. Sorry. Language today. Grammar is not my strong suit at the moment. Right now, about 60% of our students come from the Roman Catholic background and practice it in their households. The other 40% come from every other faith background that the world has to offer, meaning other Protestant Christian denominations, orthodoxies as well, other faith backgrounds, and non-religious atheistic agnostic students too. So whatever orders your universe is okay by us. But just to give you a little bit of insight into that Jesuit ideology, we are actually one of 3 schools in this fair today, in this little breakout room today, that come from that Jesuit Catholic tradition. So I just wanted to give a quick little overview as to what that means, because Loyola University New Orleans, as well as Creighton University, share this kind of signifier. The Jesuits are a specific kind of Catholic priest, and since the 16th century. They were founded by St. Ignatius of Loyola, which is where we and Loyola New Orleans get their name. In any case, they've created institutions across the globe that are focused on higher education and learning throughout the centuries. You can see here some of our main values and principles. What it can all be summed up as is a commitment to service and justice. So recognizing opportunities to enhance social justice throughout our communities and the globe, perhaps through giving back and volunteer opportunities or service learning. While these are not required in part of our institutions, another factor is a well-rounded liberal arts education. And you can see that kind of summed up in that cura personalis phrase. It's a Latin term that means care for the whole person. So we want you to be the Renaissance student by the time you leave us. And again, regardless of faith background, you can attend any Jesuit school across the US. We have actually 2 campuses in the city of Chicago. The first is our main campus, the Lakeshore campus up on the north side of the city. And this is where we have all of our first-year residence halls and all but one of our upperclassmen halls, and most of our majors. There's only 3 different schools at Loyola that are represented on this campus, and it's the Quinlan School of Business, our School of Communication, and our School of Social Work. Students that are in those 3 schools will actually still take classes and live and learn on this campus, probably for all 4 years, but they'll take classes for their major more in the heart of the city. So this Lakeshore campus is what I think of as the heart of Loyola. We're up on the north side of Chicago. It is an urban campus, but it's a little bit more of a residential vibe. And then you've got that Water Tower campus downtown where business communications and social work coursework will take place. Students get to interact with both. The Water Tower campus is much more traditionally urban vibe, whereas the Lakeshore campus has more of that collegiate feel. but you'll get to balance the two. Living in Chicago is one of the best parts about being a Loyola student. I don't feel like I have to shine too deep of a light on this, but I just want you to know that you will get to interact with this city throughout your 4 years. You get equipped with a train and bus pass for the Chicago Transit Authority, which is our amazing public transit system. It is an unlimited train and bus pass, so you will thoroughly abuse it and go to sporting events and musical theater and concerts and festivals, trying new food across our communities. You get the gist. So make sure that you integrate that urban experience into your Loyola life. You'll also be able to interact with other continents as well. We have 2 international centers, one in Rome, Italy, and one in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. These are our 2 most popular study abroad locations for undergraduate students. You are not limited to those 2, though. You have 70 countries to choose from in total on every continent but Antarctica. So we'll find something that suits you and your academic needs. Every undergraduate student has the ability to do the abroad experience. So just plant that little seed in your head right now. It's an opportunity of a lifetime, and I want you to think about it. Most of our students have the ability to do a full semester abroad, and if a full semester isn't available to you, there's also shorter term programs or summer experiences that can get up to 10 weeks or so plenty of travel time for you. Last piece of the puzzle, I just wanted to do a quick run through of our app. It is free online, and it is available either through our website, the Common application, or the Coalition application. It'll become available August 1st of your senior year. We don't care which method you complete, but just do one of the 3. And then you'll talk to your high school about sending in a transcript and a letter of recommendation from a teacher or counselor. We are test optional, essay optional, resume optional. So those 3 are components that you're welcome to submit if you'd like to, but only the transcript and letter of rec are required. I'll leave it there. I'll put my comments or my contact in the chat. Thank you all for listening to me today.
Thank you for that presentation. Up next, we have Loyola University in New Orleans.
Hi, my name is Michael Costanza. I'm the admissions counselor at Loyola University, New Orleans. We are located directly down south from where Loyola Chicago is, in the uptown Garden District area of New Orleans. Very beautiful old historical area that we're in, and we're approximately like 15 minutes from the French Quarter. So really right in the heart of the city. We are a Jesuit university, like Loyola Chicago said, Catholic faith-based organization, really living out our mission in New Orleans with similar ideals of social justice and diversity here in the city. We're about 3,200 undergraduate students and about 1,800 graduate students. We're coming from all over the country. So we're about 60% out of state, 5% international students, and then 54% students of color. Just like New Orleans, we're a gumbo pot. We've got a lot of different races, religions, backgrounds on this campus, but it does make a great community. Our students get to know each other's faces and names. Everyone interacts really well. In the classroom, what that looks like is approximately 20 students in a class. It doesn't get any larger than 30, 35. Our professors really get to know their students with a 12-to-1 student-faculty ratio. And so really that campus community, campus culture is evident in everything we do here at Loyola. A little bit about kind of what we have with the breakdown of majors. 3 big colleges: College of Arts and Sciences, College of Music and Fine Arts, or Music and Media, and the College of Business. Really everything we do well because we like to interact with our students one-on-one whenever possible, really focus on experiential learning. But some of our popular majors are, if you have a desire in music, media, production, anything in that realm of music, come on down to us. Really great opportunities here, especially with the city of New Orleans in your backyard. And then we have a lot of great business management, business marketing majors, pre-health, and then pre-law is another good one for us as well. Will be opening up a new pre-nursing major coming next year in partnership with some of the local hospitals. So if you're interested in that, definitely come check us out. Now, from a student perspective, our students are very proactive. So students generally want to get involved in everything on campus and in the city of New Orleans. So they're doing different things like social justice organizations on campus, student government. They're getting connected in the city of New Orleans. A lot of our students are are playing in New Orleans or they're doing jobs in New Orleans. So there's a great interaction there, and it's easy to get on and off campus with car, bus, or really we're walking campus as well. We have about 55% of our students that live on campus, and so it's a great atmosphere. There is a lot of opportunities to live in the city as well. We're in the NAIA Division I, so any athletes, we do have athletic scholarships for that as well. Now with the application, we are a Common App university. We're a free application, and we're also test blind. So we will not look at the ACT or SAT for admissions purposes or for scholarship purposes. We are only looking at your high school transcript, a letter of recommendation. We really want to get to know who you are. We're going to read everything on that application because we're a holistic review process. And you're actually going to be dealing with me. I'll be your admissions counselor. And so really that personalized interaction throughout the whole process. When it comes to scholarships, we'll take that GPA and apply merit-based scholarships. Everyone gets a merit-based scholarship. We also have a scholarship for all of our Missouri students coming from the area. And so that's given in addition to need-based scholarships and anything based on the FAFSA. And again, all we require is that high school transcript and letter of recommendation. So we got a great thing going down here. If you want to come visit campus, we are open for campus tours at today. So feel free to come on down. It's great weather down here in New Orleans right now, and it is crawfish season. So come see us. I'll drop my contact information in the chat and let me know if you have any questions throughout. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that presentation. As a reminder for our attendees, if you guys do have questions, definitely don't hesitate to use the Q&A down below. Up next, University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Steve Held, and I serve as the Regional Director of Admissions for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I'm actually talking to you from my home in Edwardsville, Illinois right now. So if you do choose to apply to the University of Nebraska, you'll be seeing my face and getting my email messages and all of those things. The University of Nebraska is the land grant flagship institution for the state of Nebraska. We are a member of the Big Ten, but we are the smallest state university in the Big Ten by a lot. Our total undergraduate population is about 20,000 students, 25,000 if you add our graduate programs. We have 150 plus majors and areas of study, everything from agriculture to accounting to actuarial science to forensic sciences, lots of things to offer. We find that about a third of our students, a little bit more than a third of our students are out of state. The remainder are going to be Nebraskans. We have students from all 50 states. We have students from 37 countries this year, even in the midst of COVID. We've done a lot of more distance learning with our friends, our international students. We are considered to be a top 75 public research institution in the United States. Lots of things to do, 500 plus student organizations, and we're really proud to say that we have among the lowest tuition in the Big Ten. We're about 7.5 hours drive from St. Louis, and so it's not the closest school in the world, but it really has a very much a rich Midwestern tone to it. City of Nebraska, City of Lincoln is the capital. So we have a really interesting balance between the university and its presence right downtown. It's hard to imagine the University of Nebraska being an urban institution, but technically we are. We are the heart of the city of Lincoln. The capital is just a little bit farther south of us. With the number of students that we're seeing now from the greater St. Louis area, and we average a little over 60 new students from St. Louis each year. Want to make sure that you know some of the important little highlights about the university. We all like to tout our outcomes, but it is important. And if you're going to make an investment in higher education, you should be expecting great things from yourself and how the university is going to deliver. With a student population of 20,000, that may seem like a lot to some of you. We offer, and we are always recognized as top 1 or 2 schools in the Big Ten in terms of academic support, career preparedness, and soft skills. So not just what you learn in the classroom, but the things that you learn about how to communicate, communicating well and communicating effectively. If any of you have ever heard of Huddle, H-U-D-L, Huddle was founded at the University of Nebraska by 3 of our business school graduates, and the world headquarters is in Lincoln. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's the premier athletic video site for students to upload auditions and all sorts of other things. So it's really cool, and having the world headquarters right there. Another company that you may not be familiar with, but it's actually the 8th largest contracting company on the planet, is Kiewit. And Kiewit is helping us by giving us over $200 million to add to and enhance our engineering programs on campus, including scholarships. Memorial Stadium on a regular Saturday in Nebraska is electric. We have the longest sellout streak in the United States of any college, of any university. It's been since 1963, so it's been 58 years. But we're really proud of our student athletes as well, being recognized for their academic achievements, not just what they may achieve on the field or a diamond on a court. The city of Lincoln is about 300,000 people. On a given regular Saturday football, there's more than 900,000 people in Lincoln, Nebraska. So electric is the best word I can use to describe what happens on those days. We are test optional and will continue to be test optional through at least 2023. I anticipate that being extended. We're test optional for admission and for scholarship. Our application for this coming fall will open on August 1st, but hint, hint, we actually open it somewhere about the 15th of July to try some things out. So if you're interested, please let me know and I'd be happy to waive your application fee if you'd like to apply. The scholarship offerings that we provide St. Louis area students has been significant over the past 3 years. Our average scholarship award this year for a new incoming freshman is over $14,000 a year in academic scholarship based on merit. So just want to make sure you know that. We're pretty darn generous with those awards. We've been lucky, fortunate, and careful about welcoming visitors to campus since last August when we reopened, and we continue to do so and will continue to do so throughout the summer. You will have to register in advance. You will have to observe social distancing guidelines. You will need to be masked, and we would really appreciate you coming to pay us a visit and see Nebraska and Lincoln in particular and the university for what it is. Last but not least, scholarships. May 1st is our deadline, so we consider scholarships, students for scholarships all the way through May 1. I'll put my information in the chat. Thanks for being here tonight. Take care.
I can get my Zoom to work. Thank you so much for that presentation. And as you guys can see, Creighton University is up next.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Amanda Kranz and I'm an Associate Director of Admission at Creighton University. And Creighton is located in Omaha, Nebraska. And I work with all students from Kansas and Missouri. In fact, I'm regionally based in Kansas City, so just on the other side of the state from you. And if you apply to Creighton, I would be the one who would review your file. So moving on here. Creighton is a Jesuit university. I think Eve did a great job of explaining what a Jesuit university is. The Jesuits are just the largest order of Catholic priests. You, as Eve said, certainly don't have to be Catholic to attend Creighton or any one of the 27 Jesuit universities in the country. We have over 140 academic programs at Creighton. We are truly a liberal arts school, and students receive a well-rounded education taught by professors, never teaching assistants. We have about 4,400 undergraduate students and another 4,400 graduate students. Our student to faculty ratio is 11 to 1, and our average class size is 24 students. 80% of our students come from out of state, and we have students from all 50 states and 50 countries as well. Our undergraduate programs are in the College of Arts and Sciences, the Heider College of Business, and the College of Nursing. Sorry, it looks like I went ahead a little bit too far there. We have our own dental school, law school, medical school, occupational therapy, pharmacy, physical therapy. We have a physician's assistant program and a Doctor of Nursing practitioner program, as well as a graduate school that give a preference to all of our undergraduate students. This is a big deal. For example, the acceptance rate from our undergrad into our medical school is around 60%. If students are applying from outside of Creighton undergrad, the acceptance rate goes down to about 6%. We had 157 students apply to medical school last year, and this is actually more than Princeton, MIT, and Georgetown. So the health sciences is something that we do quite well. The acceptance rate for our dental school is 65 to 80% for our undergrads, and that goes down to about 6 to 10% outside of Creighton undergrad as well. We've developed an interprofessional approach to education. We offer a team approach to healthcare education, and we want our students to have experience learning as a part of a healthcare team. We're building a second healthcare campus in Phoenix, Arizona, and when this is complete in late 2021, we'll be the largest Catholic healthcare education provider in the country. Creighton was voted one of the top schools in the country for undergraduate research opportunities, and we really want our undergrads to come in and start engaging in research freshman year if they are ready. Our Heider College of Business is well connected in the Omaha community. All of our business professors have practical experience, and we have 6 chartered financial analysts on our faculty, which is more than any other business school in the world. We offer 2 practicums on campus. We have the only student-run Apple store on our campus. It's called the IJ, and that is very unique to our campus where business students run that store. And we also have an investment practicum where students invest about $6.5 million of our school's endowment through 9 Bloomberg terminals set up live to the New York Stock Exchange. Omaha was voted the #1 city for paid internships. There are more internships than we have students to fill them. Omaha is home to four Fortune 500 companies with another 50 to 60 with operations there as well. We're also voted the #1 city for new college graduates because it's a fun place to live. There are many job opportunities and the cost of living is pretty low. We have over 250 different clubs and organizations, including sorority and fraternity life, club and intramural sports, and many leadership opportunities. Students are required to live on campus for the first 2 years, and we have a very vibrant residential campus with a national student body. Our students are actively engaged in service. We have our own retreat center about 20 miles from campus as well. We are Division I, part of the Big East Conference. We get over 18,000 fans at every home men's basketball game. We're also the host of the College World Series, and we have club and intramural sports, and our students get into all of our home athletic events for free. We offer many different study abroad opportunities, including our Global Scholars Program, where students spend 2 semesters away and 2 summers away. We're very proud of our student outcomes. We have a 99% success rate for the College of Arts and Sciences, the Heider College of Business, and 100% for the College of Nursing. You can apply to Creighton through the Common Application or our own Creighton application. We went test optional actually in 2019. So we encourage you to apply even if you haven't had the opportunity to take a test. Students without a test are still very competitive for admission and merit scholarships as well. Here you can see a bit of the calendar that we work on. The big thing to keep in mind is that we do have early action. So if we have a complete file from you by November 1st of your senior year, then you will have a decision in hand by December 15th. So you can see some of the other dates that we work on there as well. Last this is my contact information, so please don't hesitate to make good use of it. We are also open for in-person visitors. So obviously you just need to be sure that you register before coming to campus, but we would love to see you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Our final institution for this session is Case Western Reserve University.
Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Imani Green. I'm an admission counselor at Case Western Reserve. And we are located in Cleveland, Ohio. It's about an 8-hour drive from the St. Louis area, an hour and a half plane flight. So really pretty close to St. Louis, and a very similar city to St. Louis as well. A really cool thing about our school is that we have a single door admission policy. That means that you are not applying to a specific major or even a specific school. We have 4 schools at Case Western Reserve: the College of Arts and Sciences, the School of Engineering, the Weatherhead School of Management, and the School of Nursing. And if you are admitted to our university, you have access to all of our programs of study. The only caveat being music and music education majors require an audition in addition to your application. So we really want to tear down the walls between disciplines. And if you have multiple interests that are across the spectrum, we want you to be able to study all of them. So you might find a lot of students on campus who are double majoring or even adding on minors and things like that. That's very normal at Case Western Reserve. Something really cool on campus that is very unique to Case Western Reserve is our Think Box. It is a 7-story, 50,000 square foot makerspace with everything from 3D printers to water jet cutters. I didn't even know what those were until I saw them in the Think Box, to simple sewing machines. And they're really, Think Box is a place to create, collaborate, and build. And students will create some really cool things and very relevant things as well. So pictured here is Badar Kayani. He actually is graduating this spring. He and a team of his colleagues actually created a suds machine, is what they're calling it. And it speeds up the process of decontaminating an N95 mask to make it take only a few minutes. Usually it takes hours to do that. And that's a really relevant thing right now in a global pandemic. And they're actually working on having their suds machines put into hospitals. So really that's direct help into the healthcare field in a time when it really needs that. So Badar is going to graduate, but he's going to stay at Case Western Reserve for another year to receive his master's in electrical engineering. And then he wants to go on to his home of Pakistan and create a Think Box-like center there. So some really cool stuff being done in Think Box. And that is in a center that's open to everyone, regardless of major, regardless of what you're studying. You can go to Think Box, you can use it. All of the machines are free to use. You're just paying for materials that you may use, but you could probably find some extra materials for free to really play around, either for school or for something that you want to create. We're a big research university, so top 20 federally funded research institution. About 85% of our students do some sort of research or creative endeavor during their time at Case Western Reserve. Pictured in this slide is Chris Carr. He graduated in 2019, and he became famous a few summers ago for discovering a galaxy. Yes, he was doing research with a professor in the Department of Astronomy, Chris Mijos, and he was looking at some data from the Kitt Peak National Observatory, where we do our research in Arizona, and he saw what he thought was a coffee smudge, but it turned out to be a galaxy that had not been discovered yet. So it is not named after him, but he was able to name it. It is a long mix of letters and numbers, which he says is his password now for his Columbia account, because he is a student at Columbia University now doing pursuing his PhD. So really our motto is think beyond the possible, and this is really what thinking beyond the possible looks like. So as a student at Case Western Reserve, you're going to have access to not just our campus, which is a great way to use your time at Case Western Reserve, but also the more than 50 different institutions within the square mile of our campus. So they're on your campus as a student at Case Western Reserve. That includes 3 hospitals. If you're interested in medicine, we are a medical hub. Cleveland Clinic, one of the best hospitals in the United States and in the world, is open to students doing research or shadowing. So if you're interested in pre-medicine, really take a look at Case Western Reserve's offerings. I really don't think you can find anything better for preparing you for medical school. We also have 3 museums right next to our campus, and those are free. So students will be able to enter for free. And so you'll have something fun to do. Some of our art history classes are actually taught inside inside the Cleveland Museum of Art. So you have all of these institutions at your fingertips 24/7 because you're living right on campus for the first 2 years. As you can see in the background, Cleveland, downtown Cleveland is just 5 miles from campus, and students get free RTA passes, so they're able to navigate the city for free. And that includes a stop at the airport. There's a Little Italy train stop that goes all the way to the airport, so your ride to the airport is free. And we really prepare students for success after they graduate as well. As you can see, within 6 months of graduating, the vast majority of our students are engaged full-time, whether that's employment or going on to further their education in graduate or professional school. Of those people who have gone on to be in direct employment, about 40 or 4 out of 5 students, so 80% of our students are working in an area that's directly related to what they studied in college. And we have students going to medical school, dental school, law school. We have all of those at Case Western Reserve as well, just so you know. And so we are really preparing students really well for their future. And here is some final information. My information on the left, and then we are test optional until 2023. We do have need-based financial aid and merit-based scholarships, and our deadlines are below.
Thank you very much to all the institutions that presented today. I'm going to open up for a Q&A round robin session. So let me get my screen pulled up. So the first question I'm going to have our representatives answer is, what is your favorite event or tradition on your campus? And we'll go in presentation order. So we will start with Loyola University, Chicago.
Well, I'll just go ahead and answer it first. So for Loyola New Orleans, we have a great a life-size statue of St. Ignatius Loyola. And that means it's about 4'5", 4'2", because he was a short guy. But we like to decorate him based on the holiday and the season that's going on. So for Mardi Gras, we'll throw some beads on him. For Christmas, we'll throw some gifts in his hand. And students like to go up there and take pictures with him, especially when they graduate as seniors. They'll take their senior pics with him.
I'll go ahead and turn it back over to Loyola University, Chicago.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi is a little wonky, so it's not as responsive. For Loyola, one of my favorite traditions, every finals week, so both in the fall and the spring semester, on Tuesday evening around like 10 p.m. to midnight, we have what's called finals breakfast. So it's a late night breakfast that's free to students. And it's kind of a way to recharge and just, socialize during that finals week. We don't have any finals the following day. So, they can, kind of just get some fuel, chat with friends, kind of decompress before they go back to studying. And Sister Jean, our favorite gal, one of the most beloved nuns on our campus, is one of the people that helps to for that event. So all the staff and faculty on our campus do some volunteering, and we are the ones dishing out the food to you. So it's a really great way to kind of mingle with the Loyola community.
University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
I would be not doing my job if I didn't also talk to you about women's volleyball at Nebraska. So they have now sold out every match for the last 17 years. But I think, to me, one of the most interesting traditions is the Squirrel Keepers Club. There is a group that builds boxes throughout campus for squirrels, and it's a recognized student organization. When I started working for Nebraska, it was the one thing that really made me scratch my head. But they have over 150 members, and the next step is they actually have a cat club. And they do the same thing for the feral cats that are on campus. They build cat houses throughout campus for them.
Creighton University.
Sure. So kind of a fun fact about Creighton is it's a true statement to say we actually have more students from the state of Hawaii than we do the state of Missouri on our campus. And so we have long had Ho'io Hawaii, which is the quote unquote Hawaiian club. You do not have to be from Hawaii to be in the club, but they put on a very big luau every spring. A few of their parents fly in and cook for it. So we have the the Palua pig and all of that stuff. They bring little gifts from the islands to sell in kind of like a general store there as well, and they put on an amazing performance. So that is always a very fun activity every spring at Creighton.
Case Western Reserve University.
Yeah, so Case Western Reserve University is a very long name, and it comes from actually two different institutions coming together. So there was Case Institute of Technology back before the 1960s, and then there was Western Reserve University. So it was the tech side and then the liberal arts side. They came together in the 1960s to become Case Western Reserve University. And every year we do commemorate that history through the Hudson Relays. So the original site of Western Reserve University is the starting point of a relay that comes all the way to Case Western Reserve's campus. And any student in each class can run a part of that relay. And the class that wins all 4 years gets a steak and champagne dinner that's hosted by the president. And that actually hasn't happened since 2011. The class of 2011 is the last class to win all 4 years. I heard the class of 2015 won 3 years, and then the freshman class won their senior year. So unfortunately, they weren't able to get that steak and champagne dinner, but maybe your class will be the next one to win all 4 years.
Awesome. Well, we do have just a little bit more time, so I'll do one more question. And that's going to be, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And I'll turn it back over to Loyola.
This is especially pertinent this year. Consider taking virtual tours while you're still getting, kind of your ducks in a row, figuring out what kinds of colleges suit you. That way you can take a trip to Loyola, New Orleans, or all the way to University of Nebraska or Chicago or Creighton or Case Western, without necessarily having to make that long drive from St. Louis right away. And that way you can get familiar with our campus, figure out what questions to ask when you get here, and kind of see the whole country through your computer screen, just as an entry point.
Loyola, New Orleans.
Yeah, I would say get to know your admissions counselor. We know a lot about the university, can really answer all of your questions. So we're not shy. Like, don't be shy. Come talk to us, and we can often give you insights that you can't find on the website.
University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Boy, do I ever echo that. And as college admissions professional for a number of years, we all miss working in the college fairs and referring people to other tables. Believe me, it happens every night when we're in a normal year. For me, as a parent of 2 college-age kids, the first thing that needs to be happening, other than looking at cool schools and neat programs, is to have an open and honest and earnest conversation with your family. Now, whether everyone's family may be a little bit different. It may be parents, it may be grandparents, it may be your guardians. Be sure that you are having first a conversation about the schools, and secondly, start talking early on about affordability. And that will allay a lot of headaches and bickering and battling later on if you can get those kinds of things out of the way now.
Creighton University.
All great advice. This is something I always like to say. I think that depending on the area of the country that you're coming from, so you guys are all kind of in the St. Louis area, I think that for a lot of St. Louis area students, there are usual suspect schools that a lot of St. Louis area students will apply to, and that's wonderful. But I always encourage students, think about at least one wild card school that maybe you stopped by their table at a college fair or heard something during these virtual fairs that kind of piqued your interest, but you weren't super familiar with that school, and so maybe it wasn't going to automatically be put on your list. Do yourself a favor and just sort of research that a little bit more. Take a closer look. You don't really know what's out there until you kind of open your mind to that process a little bit too. So I would say just pick one kind of wild card school that you're gonna take a look at and see if it might be a good fit for you.
And Case Western Reserve University.
Yeah, so I would say I hear a lot of students who look up the US News rankings for what schools they might want to apply to. I think it's really important to think about fit more than rankings. you're going to be there for 4 years. And if you don't enjoy it, but it's one of the top schools, then that's not a great thing. So I think it's really important for you to look based on what you're interested in, what kind of goals you're hoping to achieve in college, the kind of clubs you want to join, what school is going to really help you gain that experience and meet new people, and seems like somewhere you'd want to live for 4 years. I think that's more important ultimately than ranking. So that would be my piece of advice.
That was all amazing advice. Thank you, everybody. So that does conclude our session. So thank you all for joining us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback you can give us. There is another session of college fairs right up next, so definitely go check those out. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording at the same site where you registered. Again, thank you for joining us and have a great evening.